Okay. So should I read?
All right, so you can start reading.
Okay. Alex, a small business owner, runs a popular coffee shop in Accra. With the rising demand for specialty coffee, Alex decides to expand the business by opening a new branch. To finance this expansion, Alex takes a loan of 29,518.5 Ghana cedis with an annual interest rate of 24% compounded monthly. Under the loan agreement, the loan will be repaid in equal monthly installments over 2.5 years, which is 30 months. The bank states that 1,390 Ghana cedis will be deducted from Alex's monthly earnings until the loan is fully repaid. However, Alex suspects that the bank might be overcharging with this monthly deduction. A. Based on the loan amount and interest rates, determine the accurate monthly installments that should be deducted from Alex's earnings.
All right, so based on this question, we can see that the question is asking for what the monthly installment. That is the equal payment, right? That should be deducted from Alex's earnings, right? So we know it is annuity. So let's try to get the element. It is actually asking for the equal payment. Now the equal payment, the question that we ask ourselves is whether it is equal payment for future value or equal payment for a present value. So from the question, is it a present value or a future value?
A present value.
Present value.
The present value, because we take loan in the present term, right? So Alex takes out a loan 29,000 with an annual rate of 24%. So this amount is the present value. We are going to take the loan now. We are going to take the loan today. So the present value is giving us what? The future value, that is the equal payment over what? I, 1 plus I, n minus 1, right? Then all over what? 1 plus I, n, right? Then include the bracket. The next question is to ask ourselves whether it's at the beginning or at the end. Was it stated whether it was at the beginning or at the end? It wasn't stated, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we assume that it is at the end once it was not stated, right? Okay, so I don't know. So this is the general. In case you see that I use a different formula for, because it looks like my book, I use this formula. So I want to tell you that it's the same thing, right? But you use this, the first one. So in case you see this one somewhere, which is something like this, it will give you the same answer. But you use this one, right? Because this is what is on the marking scheme, right? And then this is what is also in the formula sheet, right? I believe you know they will give you formulas, but you have to know what the formulas are. You don't depend on the formula that will be given in the examination room. All right. So with this, we have to deduce the element. What is our present value? Present value was given as what? 29,000. And then we have the interest rate. The interest rate was given as what? As 24%. What else? And it says it's compounded what? Monthly. So the interest rate will be divided by what? 12 months. What is that giving us? Then we have the number of period, right? Or the period. How many years? It said which is 2.5 years, right? 2.5. 2.5 is basically 2.5. 2.5, right? And 2.5 it is compounded what? Monthly. 2 times what? 12 months. What else? Then we need our equal payment. Equal payment was not given. Equal payment was not given, right? So the fact that the equal payment was not given, that is what we want. And that is what the question is asking. So you need to be careful of the requirement of the question. Determine the accurate monthly installment that should be deducted from Alex's earnings. So with that, we can find our A. So from this formula, we can make A the subject. So making A the subject, it means that this I will go and multiply the PV. So this I will multiply the PV, giving us PVI, PV times I. Then we divide the whole of this by this formula. Then we divide the left-hand side also by the same formula. And then this one will cancel this. All right, so we'll be having something like this. Our A is equal to PV times I all over the 1 plus I n minus 1 all over 1 plus I n, right? Okay. So with this, what then is our present value? Present value was given as what? 29,518.5 times the interest rate. What did you get for the interest?
0.0.
0.02.
0.02. What of this one?
30. 30.
30.
300.
Hey, is it 300 or 30?
300.
300.
And this is 0.02. 0.02.
Yes.
Okay. So 0.02.
Sir, please, the N is
N
N is what?
Sir, please, the N is 10. Sir, please, the N is 10.
Okay, 2.5 times 2.
Hey, Monday is the paper, and you are saying 300 by now. Be careful with your calculators. So 0.02. Then the period is 30. Minus 1. Then we have the same thing 1 plus 0.01. So what is our A? Yeah, be careful when you are punching something like this. You start by pressing this symbol, and then you punch this upper limit. 518.5 times 4 times. Then when you come to the down limit, the lower limit, you will also press another this thing again. When you are here, you press then you know that this one will take the bracket one.
Is 13,179.99.
Come again.
No, 1,317.99. It's 1,317.17.
179.
Mention the figures one by one because I don't know what.
Please, it's 1,317.99.
998.731. Yes.
998.731.
9987. So that would be
No,
something
29.
That would be 13.
1318.
If I want to run it to the nearest room number, right? Something like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is our what? Our equal payment. So that is our equal payment, and that goes for 5 marks. That goes for 5 marks. So those who are able to do it will get their 5 marks. Then B, compare the what? Okay, so the reader should continue.
Compare the correct monthly installments with the bank's stated deduction to see if there is an overcharge. If there is, calculate the overcharge amount per month.
Okay, so from the question, we are told that the bank states that 1,390 will be deducted from our next monthly installment, right? Until the loan is fully paid. So the bank is charging 1,390 instead of charging 1,319. So that is why they are asking us, is the bank overcharging or not? Because when we computed, we had 1,318. Is the bank overcharging?
Yes.
The bank is overcharging.
All right, so okay. So the bank's charge, how much is the bank's charge? Bank's charge is 1,390, yes. And then how much is the accurate amount?
1,318.
1,318.
1,318, right? 1,318. So how much is the bank overcharging? What is the difference?
32 Ghana cedis. 72 Ghana cedis.
So overcharges.
Yes.
1,390 minus 1,318. So that's giving us what?
72.
72.
72. So that is how much the bank is overcharging. All right. C.
C. If the bank is indeed overcharging, calculate the total extra amount that will be deducted over the entire loan period.
Okay, so if the bank is indeed overcharging, they calculate the total amount. So this 72 is per month, right?
Yeah.
Is it per month?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, to calculate the total amount. So if you want the total amount is 72 times. How many months were we given?
30 months.
30 months.
Yes, so 2.5 is 30 months. 30. Okay. So if 30 months, then to calculate the amount for the entire period, amount for the what? For the entire loan period. It's given us what? The 72 times the 30 months. How much is that?
Yes.
2,160.
2,160.
2,160. Right. Okay. What else? D.
Sorry. Create an amortization schedule to provide a clear understanding of the loan repayment process.
Okay, so we have to create an amortization schedule, right? Based on the process. So we were given an interest rate. Were we given an annual interest rate or a compounded interest rate? We were given 24%, and this 24% was compounded what monthly, right? So we have to compute the effective rate, right? Because it is compounded. It is compounded monthly. So we have to find the effective interest rate before we can use that interest rate to do our amortization schedule. So how do you get effective rate? What's the formula for the effective annual rate? What's the formula? Is it 1 plus I divided by n exponent n minus 1? Right? So that is giving us 1 plus, what is the interest rate? 24%. So 24% divided by 12 minus 1, right? The m is the multiple compounded. M is the multiple compounded. So what is our effective rate?
Okay,
0 point what? 03. Are you all getting that?
Yeah, no, 0.27.
No.
Sorry.
0.268.
27. Okay, 268.
268. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is giving us how much? Multiplied by 100.
If you multiply by 100. 26.82.
So that's giving us 26.82%, right? So that is our effective rate. Now, we can use it to find our annuity, right? So the D question of the loan payment, right? So we use this effective rate to now compute the equal payment, right? To get the equal payment. And this equal payment, that is what we use in preparing our amortization schedule. So How do we get the A? The A, we said, is the PV times the what? Times the I over 1 plus the I n minus 1 all over 1 plus I n. So what is our PV? PV was given as what? Is it 29 something? 29 what?
1,518.5.
518.5 times the effective rate that we computed, which is 0.268, 0.268, right? All over 1 plus 0.268. What is our n? Our n is 2.5, right? 2.5 minus 1, then 1 plus 0.268 bracket close 2.5. So what is our A?
So please, we will get 17671.5676.
17
671.5676.
1767
1.5676.
huh? 1767
1.5671.5676.
Hey,
It's 17676 point. It's 17676.15.
1766. What is this?
676 point what? Yeah, 7 6. Last one 6. Yeah, point.
Point what?
15795. Yeah, 15.
Give me 3 decimal place here.
0.15. Okay, 0.157. Yeah.
Is it confirmed?
Yes. Confirm.
Okay. All right. So then we can prepare our amortization schedule. Amortization was schedule. All right. So let's prepare our amortization schedule. So that's the
So, please, are
period.
you going to do it from 1 to 30?
1 to 30. Are we doing it in months? 1 to 30 means you are doing it in months. Do you get it?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's 1 to it's 2.5, right? So can use 3 years, right? 3 years. So we start with the beginning balance, the principal or the opening balance. The opening balance, or some may say principal or the principal, right? All right. And then here will be the interest. The interest, what is the interest? Is 26 point what? 0.82. 26.82%. Then we have the equal payment, right? The equal payment or the annual payment. The equal payment or the annual payment. Then we have the principal repaid. Principal that has been repaid, right? Then we have the closing balance. Closing balance, right? So all of these are in the Ghanaian currency, right? So this is also known as the principal. Let me put it here. Principal. Okay. Let me shift this one down a bit. 1, 2, 3. All right. So what is the principal? What is the loan? The loan amount is 29,5 with 1,8 here. 1,8.5. Okay. So what is the interest on it? The interest 26.82% on the principal is given out how much?
What's up? 7916.8615.
7916.8617.
8617.
And then what is the annual payment? The annual payment is what? Yeah, so that's the A. A is the equal payment. Equal payment will run to 167.6.16. Here too, that will be the same amount, 1676.16. Here to 17676.16, right? So now, the principal repaid, right? How much of the principal have we paid, right? So now, this amount includes both the interest. We are making equal payments, annual payments, 17 days, 17 days, 17, and that. So this amount that we pay, when we make this payment, we are paying both the principal which is the loan, and then the interest on the loan. So if we have the interest on the loan at 7916.86, then the balance, the remaining balance becomes part of the principal that we have paid, right? So the 17 that we are paying each of the years include both the interest and then the principal. So if they are saying that we have paid the interest 7916.86, then the remaining becomes the principal that has been paid. So what is the principal repaid?
$9,759.79.
What are you getting?
9759.
975.
79.
975 what?
59.
9.79.
0.79.
So is it 0.8? Okay. All right. So what will be our closing balance?
Sir, please, how did he get the 9759.8?
So I said that this annual payment, when we consider the equal payment that we pay each year, we are paying 17,676.16. This amount that we are paying every year, each year, annuity. This is the annuity. We are paying it each year. So now that we are paying 17, when you pay 17, it includes both the interest and then the part of the principal. Others here. If you go for loan from the bank and they tell you that every year pay this, when you pay that amount, it is taking part of the interest and then part of the principal, the loan that you have taken. So if we know this interest to be 7916, then we deduct it from what? The equal pay, the annual payment. So it will be the annual payment minus the interest.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So the principal, let me write the formula here. The principal repaid is the annual payment minus the interest. Right? Okay. So what will be our closing balance?
$1975. 1975.202.
175 point what?
202.
0.202. 202. Okay, 0.2. So how did you get a closing balance?
Opening balance minus principal repaid.
The opening balance minus the principal. I think I'm supposed to use red pen. Sorry. Principal repaid. Right. Okay. So this closing will become the beginning, which is 19759.2. Then you compute the interest on it. What are you getting?
5 to 99.4.
Sorry?
5 to 99.42.
5 to
99.42.
5 to 99.42. 0.42. All right. So how do you get a principal repaid? Get a principal repaid amount. So that's 17 minus this. What do you have?
One, 2, 3, 7, 6.
1, 2, 3, 7, 6.
0.74.
0.74.
So how did you get the interest?
Yeah, so you use the rate 26.8% on the principal.
Okay.
Because the closing balance.
Please 7382.5.
7382.5. All right. So now, we come to the third year, right? So 7382.5. So what will be the interest? Note that this one, the interest is supposed to be what? Half. Why? Because we have not spent the entire 3 years, or then we spent 2.5 years, right? So the last period is actually 0.5, right? Which is a half year. This 3 years. It's not a full year. Is it a full year? Hello? Did we use full year here? No, we are using half, 0.5. Because we are using half year, the interest rate must also be what? Portion. Right? Must also be a portion or be divided. So the interest rate must also be a half-year interest rate because we are not using a full year, right? If the full year is giving us 26.82%, then half year will give us how much? If more or less divide. So basically, divide this thing by 2. What is the interest rate? Yes, what are you getting?
0.1341.
0.1341. So that would be how much? Is it 13.41?
13.41.
Okay. Right. So that would be the interest rate that we used to provide. So what is that giving us? Hey, give us the figure here.
989.8.
9 what?
0.98. 989.99.
989.99.
99.
Are you? So we are using 13.41% note, right? So what would be our principal repeat?
Oh, don't follow me. Don't step out, no go.
Monday is a paper, so don't go.
Hey.
Monday is a paper, so don't go.
Wow.
What would be our principal repeat?
I see.
Hello, what would be our principal repeat? This annual payment, it means it will not be annual, right?
Yes.
If this one is not, then means this one will also not be annual. It will be what? Half. Is it half? Yes, because this one is for the entire year. So half of this will be how much? Half of this amount will be how much? Hello, are you here?
You do notice, Angel, you tell me the money is free.
In the class or the Afghan Jama?
It's a lie.
No. Okay. So, since the interest rate here has changed for the third year, means that we would have to use this interest rate, because we use this interest rate to find for this one. We have to use the same interest rate to find for this equal amount here, right? So we use this interest rate. We use the entire interest rate for the amount here. We are getting the 17676.16. So let's find the another A. Let's find the A just for this one, right? Because
No, I'm going to go. What about you?
right? Because that is a half year. You cannot use the full year's amount for that. So you have to use the half year interest rate to find the equal payment just for the half year. What would that be?
I asked him yesterday who be at. They're catching the symmetry. I mean, who don't wear another catching the symmetry.
So this is the present value, right? The present value is this value 738.5 times the interest rate, which is the 13.41%. All over one.
Where they are my child, like Queen on child, you cry.
The interest rate is 13.41%. And what would be the number of years? The number of years is what? Is half, right? So that would be 0.5, right? 0.5. So 0.5 divided by what? 1 plus 13.41%. What would be the 0.5? Since we are compounding, this one is a compounded with amount. So that would be semi-annual. Semi-annual. We multiply by 2. We multiply by 2. So what is our A from this?
This why is it times 2?
Since is that why is it times 2? We've compounded it annually, right? Semi-annual, because we are using half year. Right? A full year is what? Annual. So half year is what? Is it not semi-annual? 6 months.
Yes.
So compounded semi-annually, what do? We divide, what is the period? You multiply times 2, right? And the rate.
Divide the interest by.
Yes, so that is what we did. We divide the interest rate by 2. We did it here earlier. The interest rate was 26.84%. So I had done that earlier by dividing it by 2.
Okay.
Or should I write the 26.84 and divide it by 2 here?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so what are you getting for the A?
Because it didn't write
Hey, are you here?
Yes, please.
What are you getting?
Nine eight nine
989.
point 99325.
Hey, let's see if we can answer this. I don't think so. Hey, it's only one person in the class who has a calculator. By this time, you don't have a calculator.
Please,
Eight three
7.433.
What are you getting?
887.433.
8 what?
887.433.
887
Yes, please.
point,
0.433.
4.432
No, 33.
23
No, 33.
33.
Yes,
Is
please.
it confirmed? Something like this is not easy. You can easily get it wrong. Even professionals, if you joke, you can get this thing wrong. So let me punch it myself and get where's my calculator?
989.
Clearly in a figure. Okay, so 7382 times 0.2 825 times 13.41%. All right. Cents. Let's do that. 4.5 times 2. Okay, 1 plus.
So you forgot the -1 in there.
Ah, oh, okay. Okay, that's why they are. Okay. Sorry for that.
So you get 8372.20.
It was
72.49.
Yes.
8372.49.
even to
Yeah.
they confirmed.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah.
US are better than 1, so good. Okay, so this is our, what's the name? That is our annual payment for the third period. So now, what will be our principal repaid? What will be our principal repaid?
Seven three two
73.
2.5.
82.5.
5.
So at the end of the day, we'll finish paying the loan. All right, so this is the amortization schedule. This is the amortization schedule. This is amortization schedule. All right, so is that all? So that is, let's take the, so that is for 2A. So the first question was 2A. Okay, so 2A. So let's quickly do 2B.
I read there. 2B. On the site, Alex is also being tempted to join an investor who has proposed 2 options for investing in big money business. Below is a snapshot of the proposal. Investment in a 𝒔𝒐𝒏 business. Point 1. Initial investment equals 200,000 cedis. Lease duration 12 years. return starting at the beginning of year 4. The company promises to pay an annual return of 32.5% of the invested amount the next 10 years. The next investment is investment in a transport business. Initial investment 300,000 Ghana cedis for purchasing 2 large cargo trucks. Returns year 1 70,000 Ghana cedis. Subsequent years the annual return decreases by 2,000 each year due to increasing maintenance costs. End of ownership. The trucks will be sold for a total of 20,000 Ghana cedis after 10 years. Alex seeks to answer to the understanding the viability of the options. Assuming the prevailing rate on investment is 12% per year, determine the net returns based NPV to evaluate which option would be most viable economically.
Okay. So here you have 2 options. One is operating a galamsey business, and the other one is operating a transport business. So you would have to use the NPV to evaluate the 2 options, right? Yes, and tell us which one is more viable in terms of profit, right, or in terms of the returns. Right, so you have to do for the galamsey, you have to also do for the transport business. So let's look at that. All right, so this is so first of all, we'll do for the galamsey first. Galamsey business. So for the galamsey business, we have to find the NPV. What is the formula for the NPV? The summation of the present value minus the initial cost. Right. So we've been told that. So now, what is the present value? Present value is just what the A over I 1 plus I n minus 1 all over plus I n bracket close. Okay. So we have been given initial investment 200,000. Lease payment or lease duration is 12 years, right? And then we are saying that the return starting at the beginning of year 4, the company promises to pay an annual return of 32.5% of the invested amount for the next 10 years. When you are having a cash flow like this, and it is not starting from year 0 or starting from year 1, a period other than year 1, then it's prudent you draw the cash flow diagram. It will be prudent you draw the cash flow diagram because it is starting from a period other than period 1, so that you see the bigger picture of the whole question. So it was not stated, but you should know that you have to draw a cash flow diagram. All right, so you are going to draw a cash flow diagram. So the cash flow diagram here, we have period 0, period 1, period 2. How many years? They said the lease duration is what? 12 years. So from year 0 to 12. So year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, and then finally year 12, right? Okay. So now they are saying that the cash flow is starting when? At what? At the beginning of year 4, right? At the beginning of year 4, you have to be very vigilant, because immediately you saw year 4, you'd have played the cash flow at year 4, which is very wrong. This one is at the end of year 4. This is at the beginning of year 1. 0 is the beginning of year 1. Here is the end of year 1. The end of year 1 is the beginning of year 2. Then this is the end of year 2. This is the end of year 3. This is the end of year 4. So this is the end of year 4. If you want the beginning of year 4, then it is period 3. So this is the end. This is the beginning of year 4. This is the end of year 4. So the cash flow will start from here, which is the beginning of year 4, and not the end of year 4. So you have to be vigilant when you are reading the question. You have to open all your eyes, open all your mind, what is here, and read the question, understand what the question is saying. Don't be in a haste. Okay. So here, they are saying that the return is 32% of the invested amount. So what is the return? Return is what? Is 32.5% of the invested amount. How much did you invest? We invested 200,000. So what will be the amount?
$65,600. $65,000.
So 65,000 is the return. So it is starting from the beginning of year 4, which is 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. And I invested for 10 years, right? 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Is it 10?
10.
It's 10, right?
Yes.
10. Okay. All right. So this is the cash flow, right? This is the cash flow. Now that we have the cash flow, we want the present value for what? Present value. So now this is the equal payment, right? This 65,000 is the equal payment, which represents our A, which will represent our A. So now we can get our present value. What is the present value? What's the present value for the, is it for the third period? The present value for the third period, right? Will be 65,000. 65,000. Oh no, it's starting from the So P2. Right, so that will be 55,000. 1 plus, what is the interest rate? So that's 12%. So that's 12%. And the period. The period is what? 10 years.
Yes.
Minus 1. 1 plus 0.12, 10 years. Right. So what are we getting for this?
I'm done. I didn't finish the thinking. Papa.
We want the present value after year 2. So because it is starting from year 3, we cannot just find the present value of, that is the present value of today, P0, because the period is not starting from year 1. If the cash flow is starting from year 1, then we want the present value of today, just P0. But this one, the cash flow is not starting from year 1. It is starting from what? Year 3. So we want the immediate present value. So the immediate present value will be present value of year 2. That is why I'm starting from year 2. So when I get a value for year 2, then I can now discount it into today's value, which is the present value for today, which is the present value or the P0, right? So give me the figure.
Yeah, I will not go to TikTok. I will sleep early today. I just said so happy. Ah.
What are you getting?
I was doing the fundamental side. That's why your lecturer used to tell me. What to expose it. Of course. Now you move on for the fundamental.
Hey, so you guys did not give me the answer. Yeah, you're not punching.
So 367. So hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 367,264.4968. Four nine six eight.
So now we find the present value for today, which is the future value over what? 1 plus the interest rate, right? Exponent n. So future value would then be the 367,264.497 divided by what? 1 plus the interest rate is 1 to exponent what? So here, this amount that we had was 367,264 point something something. That is the future value when you are standing at P0. So you have to discount the future value to the what? Present value. So when you discount, the period will be 1, 2, right? So we have 2 years, 1, 2, 2 years. So the n will give us what? 2. So giving us 2, if you have this, what will be 367,264.497 1 plus 0.12 exponent 2. So if you discount it, you are getting 292781 point what? 0 0, right? 0 0 or 001 001. So this is the present value as given, right? So now we want to get the NPV. What is our NPV? NPV is the present value minus the initial cost. So what is the present value? The NPV is the present value, which is 29278100 or 01 minus what? The initial outlay, which is 200,000, right? So if you deduct 200 from this, what are you getting? That will give us 200,000. That will be 92781, right? That will be the NPV for the 𝒔𝒐𝒊𝒐 business. That is the NPV for the 𝒔𝒐𝒊𝒐 business. Then we do for the transport business. Yes. Someone was calling me.
Yes, sir. Please, on your cash flow diagram, you said the return starting at the beginning of year 4, but when you were writing it, you started from year 3. Can I ask why?
Yes, it means you were not paying attention, or
connection.
You joined late. Which is which?
My connection.
So I said starting at the beginning of year 4. All the points represent the end. So the beginning of year 1, this is year 1. The beginning of year 1 is year 0. So the end of year 1 is here. This is the end of year 1. End of year 2. End of year 3. End of year 4. End of year 5. So if you want the beginning of year 4, this is the end of year 4. Beginning of year 4 is starting at end of year 3. The end of year 3 is the same as beginning of year 4.
Yes, sir.
All right. So doing for the transport business, we still have the same formula. The what's the name? What is the Transport Business Act? Initial investment of 300,000 for the purchasing 2 large cargoes. Return in year 1 is 70,000. Subsequent years, the annual return decreases by 2,000 each year due to increasing maintenance costs. Right? End of ownership. The truck should be sold for a total of 20,000 after 10 years. So that is the scrap value. That is an inflow. All right. So which type of cash flow is this? So that is it is increasing or decreasing by what percentage? Is it by a percentage by a specific amount? This is by a specific amount. It is decreasing by 2,000. So that is the arithmetic.
Yeah, arithmetic. Gradient.
So arithmetic gradient, right? So we have the initial payment, which is what? Initial investment. And that is 300,000. You have the year 1. Year 1 is what? 70,000. What is the number of periods? End of ownership. The truck will be sold for a total of 20,000 after 10 years. So we assume that the end is 10 years. Right? The interest rate is still 12%. What else? All right. So under the arithmetic, we know that finding the present value, because we will still be using the NPV is equal to what? The summation of the present value minus the initial cost. Initial cost, right? So what is the present value? Present value is what? The present value of annuity minus the present value of the present value of the gradient, right? Okay, so what is the present value of annuity? So present value of annuity is what? Is the A over I 1 plus the I and minus 1 all over 1 plus I and brackets close. So what is the payment? It's starting from what? 70,000, right? And then the interest rate is given as what? The interest rate is given as what the interest rate? The interest rate is given as 12%, so 0.12, 1 plus 0.12. What is our N? N is what? 10 years. Our N is 10 years minus 1 all over 1 plus 0.12, 10 years. So what do we have? We have 70,000. Have you done it already?
Grade I5. 615.61.
To 3955
615. Anna.
16. I know getting this.
No. I got 395,615.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
I'm getting this 395515.
Yes, that's what you got. That's it.
Is this one correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then you now find our gradient. Gradient is what is the decrement, or it is increasing or decreasing. So the 2000, what's the formula to? Let me write the formula first. The formula is given as what? Is it K, the constant increment, then the interest rate squared, right? The interest rate, we have, is it 1 plus I and the interest rate minus 1. The interest rate minus 1, right? Okay, then all over what? All over 1 plus I n, right? I believe this is the formula for the gradient. So let me continue here. Okay. So that is the formula. You can also decide to bring this, the whole of this by this, right? You bring it here. And then this one will stand alone. It will still give you the same answer. It will still give you the same answer. All right. So now, let's insert the values. What is our PK? PK is 2000 divided by, what is the interest? This is 0.12 squared. Then 1, is it 1 plus what? 1 plus I exponent n. 1 plus I 0.12 exponent n. The n is what? Is it 10 years? 10 years minus what? Minus n. N is 10 years. Multiply the interest, which is 0.12, everything minus 1. All over what? 1 plus 0.12 exponent 10. What is the answer for the PK? What is our present value? Present value is the PA minus what? The PK. So PA, what did we get? PA, we had 395516. That is 395516 minus 405808. So what is our present value?
$355,008.
So this is our present value. So to get our MPV, then the MPV will be what? Will be the 355008 minus what? Minus the 300. So what is our MPV? MPV is 55008. So based on these two projects, which of them is more viable? What did we get for the first one? The first one at 92,781, and this is giving us 55.
Everybody will buy one. And that's
So therefore, the option that is more viable, is what? Is the galamsey, right? Galamsey, since
we can put it on top of the rest.
it has the
I'm not sure they will take it. If I put it
the highest what return.
and you have to push it to the back, like back. That one they will know their question.
92,781, right? Okay. So that is it. So the B.
If not because of this one, my mirror will be everything.
The B is estimate the next value for each investment option, accounting for the decreasing return each year, while including the resale value of the tracks in year 10.
What will I do?
Okay. So they are saying that we should estimate the net value for each investment, right? Accounting for decreasing returns each year, while including the resale value of the tracks in year 10, right? So what you have to do here is to repeat what was done in the A above.
For
Right.
evaluation stage before I
And just add the resale value after discounting it into the present value.
I just want to get
Right.
one.
So
No,
what do we do? Just
but money I can't pay. Go like leave the place. So it means 3 months. Oh yeah. I want to do.
Miss Elena, please can you mute yourself?
So
all right. So we have to repeat what was done in A, right? Because it is to estimate the net value, right, of each of the investments. What is the net value? Accounting for the decreasing returns each year, while including the resale value of the tracks in year 10, right? So what is the resale value? What is the resale value? The resale value was about 20,000 for 10 years, right? So this value is the value that we'll be getting at the end of the 10 years, the future value. Let's discount it into the present value today. What is the present value for it today? What is its present value? So the present value is for a single amount in the future value 1 plus I n. So the future value is 20,000. We are going to discount it into the present value 0.12 for 10 years. What will be the amount? So that will be 20,000 1 plus 0.12 exponent 10. And that is giving us 6,439.46. So that is the present value for today, right? So what will be the total present value? So the total present value. So this is for the transport business. For the transport business, right? So what will be the total present value for the transport business? That would be, how much did you get earlier? What was the amount that we had earlier for the present value for the transport business? I think you should start it down. Transport business. Present value, we had 355,008, right? 355,008. That is the present value. So now we are going to increase that present value to 355,008 plus the resale value 36439.46. All right, so that will give us a new present value of how much? That will give us a new present value of 361
361. Yeah.
47. Right. So that is the total present value. So then we can now find our NPV. So what will be our new NPV? NPV is 361,447 minus the initial outlay. So what will be the initial outlay? That will be 61,447. 61,447. So this is for the transport business. Besides, there is no for the Galaxy, there is no resale value, right? So we are basing on this, right? Estimate the net value for each investment option, accounting for the decreased returns each year, while including the resale value of what of the drugs in year 10, right? So the Galaxy business, there is no resale value, so we cannot have any on that, right? The present value is still the same present value. The present value is still the same present value. Okay, then we move to the C. Let's do the C and then so read the C.
Compare the NPVs of both investments, make a recommendation, compute the annual worth of each investment, and explain why this metric might be more appropriate for decision making in this context.
Mm-hmm. So they say we should compare the NPVs of both investments to make a recommendation. Yeah, so based on the new computation that we did, which investment is still viable or is more viable? So this one with the new computer we have 61,447. Whilst for the Galamsey, what did we get earlier? Galamsey we had 92,7. We had 92,781. So still the Galamsey is higher than the transport, right? Still the Galamsey is higher than the what? Than the transport. And I think we should compute annual worth, right? So annual worth is making A the subject. Annual worth is making A the subject. So let's compute our annual worth. So we still choose what? The Galamsey. The Galamsey what? Business, because it has the highest what? NPV. Right? So they say we should compute the annual worth of each investment and explain why this metric might be more appropriate. Yes, so you are going to compute the annual worth. So what is the formula for the annual worth? Annual worth is like the A that we know from the present value, just making the present value. This time around, we are going to use the net present value. Right, so you are going to use the net present value. So for the Galamsey, we are having the NPV times I, right? The normal present value formula that we know, 1 plus I, n minus 1. 1 plus IN. This time I'm using the NPV, not the PV. So what NPV did we get for Galamsey? We had 90 something. The 92, 92,
781.
92,781, right? 92,781, 92,781. So 92,781 times the interest rate, which is 0.12, all over 1 plus 0.12. N is giving us how many years? For the whole 12 years, right? So for the whole lease period, what is the annual rate? Then 1 plus 0.12 also for 12 years. So what will be our annual rate for Galamsey? Annual rate for Galamsey will be I'm getting 14,978.27. That is for the Galamsey. I'll do the same thing for transport business. If I do the same thing for the transport business, what is the annual rate? That is what? NPV. What is NPV? NPV is 64. I think you have 61,447. 61,447. 61,447 times what? 0.12. Everything 1 plus 0.12. What is the number of years? The lease period, what is it? Is it also 12 years? Okay. All right, so that is also 12 years. So 0.12. So what is that giving us? Is the transport business 12 years? Okay, so 61,447. What are we getting? Is it not? It's 10 years, right? It's rather 10 years. The net end of ownership, the trust will be sold for a total of after the 10 years, right? So what are we getting?
$10,875.14594.
10,875. Right.
0.14.
So based on the annual work, still the galamsey business is doing well than the transport business. So I think that's the end of the question. That's the end of the question. Okay. So the way you guys are dull, it means you are tired. And I'm even more tired than you guys. So on that note, thank you very much for coming and have a wonderful evening. Maybe tomorrow, God willing, that early in the morning, we can continue. Early in the morning.